we've all had them. They can be embarrassing, they can hurt, and sometimes they just make us look plain stupid and dumb. What I'm talking about are lapses in attention. Sometimes, when you willfully let them happen, they can end in injury, or come close. One experience I had with it was one of the times I got my head split open. It was a cloudy day from what I remember, but I was feeling alright. I felt like everything was going my way. And then I got to baseball practice. I got there, I was ready to go. We started warming up, and we started talking about something. Well, as we started talking, I turned slightly to say something. As I turned back, I noticed that the person I was throwing with hadn't noticed that I was not paying attention. I looked up, and the ball was about 5 feet from my head. So, I then woke up on the ground, not having remembered fallen, or to be more precise, collapsed. And I didn't know what was going on, and then I remembered I got hit. I started yelling, "I'm hit, I'm hit," just to make sure I was awake and let everybody know, whoever else I knew was there, that I was awake. And then I lifted my head up, and I noticed there was blood. And it wasn't just a little bit, it wasn't just a trickle. My sleeve was covered up in blood halfway up my forearm. My hand was completely covered in blood. There was a pool of blood in my hand, and there was a little bit of blood everywhere on the ground. At this point, I panicked slightly and started yelling, "I'm bleeding." After that, I said to myself, "Okay, Kenny, yelling's not going to help you in this situation." So, I sat there, and I sat there for a minute, and then I'm wondering, where is everybody? So, I pick my head up, and I look around, and I realize why nobody's helping. They're all about 10, 20 yards away, on their knees. Just... Yes. And, I think some of them were shocked about the amount of blood they saw, because from what I remember, I couldn't see out of one of my eyes. But, yes, then about another 5 minutes later, our coaches showed back up with some towels. And, my teammates helped me. Somebody brought over some water so I could wash my hand off. Ethan held the towel around my head. And, about another 5 minutes later, my dad and my sister showed up, took me to the ER, and I had to get stitches, of which I absolutely hated at the time. I did not like needles. I did not like the thought of a needle going inside my head. So, well, to say I was a little bit freaked out, but I got my 6 stitches, and I remember David Bray said to me one band practice, "Kenny, you look like Chucky with those stitches in your head." But I just took it as a normal joke. I mean, lesson learned. But then I had another accident, or close accident. I was driving with my parents one day after work, and we were driving on the interstate. My dad was annoying me slightly. He was sitting right behind me in the back seat. He was tickling my neck. Yes, as I was driving, and I turned around, and I turned my head slightly to tell him to stop. I turned back around, and I noticed the car right in front of us seemed to be coming up pretty fast. In this moment, I realized they had stopped. I didn't know why, but it was backed up. And within 3 seconds, I had realized I'm not going to be able to stop. I'm either going to hit him, or I can try getting over into the other lane where there was plenty of room to stop, or maybe hit somebody trying to get over. Choosing the lesser of the evils, I tried getting over. Without telling my parents any of this, and they were not paying attention, I got over it and I scared the living crap out of them. Then, after we stopped for a little bit, my parents knowing that I had done the right thing, my dad took over driving.
And you started.
But, lesson I learned is when you willfully don't pay attention or have a willful lapse in attention, it can lead to dangerous consequences. I learned my lesson that if you can prevent a lapse in attention, then you should.
Okay, excellent. Let's give him a hand.